So, you want to know how to make a tech portfolio, huh? Alright, 3 things you gotta remember. Focus on being professional. You've got to present yourself well. Think of this portfolio as a representation of you. If it's well put together, people will assume that you are well put together. Secondly, try be unique. There are countless other people aiming for the same goal as you. So what makes you not just better, but also more interesting? Add a little personality, maybe a little quirk or something. Doesn't have to be directly related to the job you are applying for. It's just something for the employer to remember you by. Thirdly, please be concise. Get across all necessary information as compact and effectively as possible. No one wants to wade through your life story from birth. Keep it short, keep it snappy. This directly applies to being unique. It is a quirk, non-essential figure piece. Something to add a little pizzazz, not something to bore the reader. So, with that in mind, let's have a look at your portfolio. Yeah, nothing so far. But don't panic. Getting started is one of the hardest parts of any creative process, and tech portfolios are no different. Items you could include are things such as your name, personal details, any contact information, any projects you've done, and so on. This may look a little bit overwhelming to you, so we would suggest simplifying them into 2 different pages, one about you and one about things that you've made. Let's start with the part about you. Here's a portfolio we would say needs improvement, as it may be easier to see what we're talking about when we show you what to avoid, rather than what to necessarily just do. Remember our 3 buzzwords: professional, unique, concise. First, a crazy fun picture of you may not be the best choice. Make sure you look lively, but still professional. Focus is on the word lively. You don't want to swing the serious pendulum so far the other way that you look like you have just had a prison sentence. This is meant to be a professional page that is focused on your achievements and abilities, not so much your personal life. Similarly, don't make your main page a huge autobiography completed with emojis. It comes across as childish and that you aren't serious about the job you're applying for. Color scheme is also something to take note of. Don't use unusual color combinations or ones that are hurtful on the eyes. Try to aim for colors that work well together and aren't too dark. A general rule of thumb is to use a very light shade, if not white, for the background and also have an accent color. Finally, always check the email that you are using. You don't want to use an email that you made when you were 12. Remember to aim to be professional, unique, and concise. Now, let's move on to the other page. This is your evidence of your competency in the field. In this page, it is important you stand out with the skills directly related to the job you are aiming for. Here's one project showing off a game. At the bottom, it has details of the project itself. Be sure to highlight what you have learned from that project specifically, and any major hurdle you may have had to jump. This shows a self-awareness and self-improvement that is very valuable for employees to have. Also, don't think it's just video games or something else visually impressive that you have to talk about. Feel free to show things that are harder to initially recognize. If you are going to do this, however, be sure to detail it clearly in the description. Remember to be concise. You can even make use of unfinished projects. If you have specific parts that you think exactly show what kinds of skills employers want, then show it. Remember, you don't have to be infallible on paper. Show that you can learn and improve, and in turn, what you have learned, rather than pretending that you get it right first time, all the time. However, don't just take away what we've said here. Here are some tips from Dr. Gary Usher. What things do you look for in a tech portfolio?
Employers generally are looking for 2 different types of demo. Broadly speaking, they want to see can you actually finish something, so what I call a shallow but wide demonstration. You've put everything in and it's finished, it's completed. The other kind of demo that they like is something which is deeper but narrower, so you've gone into a very specific technical problem and got to grips with it. The other thing they want actually is a few good things. They don't want 100 crappy things, unfinished things. They want 2 or 3 really properly developed items.
So what are some common mistakes that people tend to make?
One thing you see a lot is that people just pile all sorts of nonsense into this. The stuff they did 6 years ago, there's just no rhyme or reason to it. It should be stuff that you're proud of and is representative of your current skills and abilities. The other thing is, if possible, make the code available, and obviously make sure it's decent code, make sure it's code that people can have a look through and see that it's well structured, it's properly commented, has sensible variable names and things like that. Fundamentally, what you're trying to do with your portfolio is to get a job interview. Now, people that do the interviews see dozens, hundreds of these things and just have a limited amount of time. So just bear that in mind. First impressions can impress with 2 or 3 really nice pieces. And if that works, then it gets handed on perhaps to a wider team and they spend a bit more time going through it and discussing it.